everybody. My name is Mina. Today's short session is going to be all about fertility. Frankly, there is not one movement or posture that will increase your fertility. It's not that simple. It's a very complex thing that a woman ovulates, and that there's fertilization, and then there is the nestling of the fertilized egg in the endometrium, and it's a complex thing. Life is a miracle. However, we can hopefully create a very receptive, relaxed state within the body, some blood flow, some prana, life force energy moving in the right areas, so that the miracle of life can happen. And maybe also in terms of the mindset, finding a mindset where you are in full acceptance of whatever it is that happens. The Black Mother, one of the archetypes, or the Black Madonna, she's all about accepting, loving everything, every aspect of you, every darkest bit of you, within us, outside of us, and I think it can be helpful as an archetype to have her around, so we can be truly receptive. Not just the good bits, not just the easy and pretty bits, but everything. And it's that kind of vibe I'm looking for today, so we can be receptive, accepting, and loving of all of us. So I hope you can join me. I have a bolster, a blanket, and 2 blocks just in case. And we'll get started with some Sufi grinds. So I'm going to come off of the blanket, find an easy cross-legged seat, and just starting to move. Again, right away, close your eyes. And maybe your movements are small, maybe they're big, maybe they're slow, a little bit quicker. And moving from a sense of pleasure. So, I think the word functional, there's functional yoga, there's functional training, there's a lot of that is a buzzword out in the world. But this is not about functionality, it's about pleasure, moving from an intuitive place in a way that feels good. And then the breath already starts to flow nice and smooth. And you can also reverse the direction, maybe the head wants to get involved. Nice and easy. And seeing if the breath can start to move really low down. In our society where we're always busy, we're always in fight or flight, the breath gets stuck somewhere, in here. Seeing if you can send the breath all the way down already here as you move. Okay? Wonderful. And then slowly coming to center. And let's just switch the legs. And within the same position, let's move into some cat and cow. So as you inhale, you can lift the heart. And as you exhale, around the back. And maybe today focusing a little bit more on rocking the pelvis back and forth. And I think the probability of conceiving is higher when the woman is orgasming. So that has to do with the contractions, the vaginal walls. I think also, as a yoga teacher, it's also probably an energetic thing, the receptivity or the welcoming that starts to happen in your body. So maybe actually feeling your pelvis tilting back and forth. This can be a very sensual thing, so allowing yourself to go there. to stillness. I'm just feeling maybe there's already some increase in blood flow in the hips, the belly. Good. And then let's come on to hands and knees. If you want to place some blankets underneath the knees, go ahead. And back on hands and knees, we'll move through those more intuitive movements again. Starting to circle your hips. And close your eyes, again moving from pleasure. Maybe your shoulders want to move, or hips. Good. And in Vinyasa Yoga, we breathe with what's called Ujjayi breath. This is slight tightening in the back of the throat. And this helps us to control the breath. But it also is an exciting or an arousing breath. So what we're trying to arouse is the Kundalini, the primordial life force that is, at the base of the tailbone. And it can be quite a sensual breath. So if you let it really permeate your cells, the breath is a connection to your life force, the new life you're trying to spark within your womb. Good. Let's come into child's pose for a moment. So knees can be nice and wide or closer together, up to your liking. And I'm actually going to stack my fists, and so my head is not too far down. You can also release your forehead down. I'm going to stay up here. And this is a position because of the thighs that are supporting the belly, where you can start to feel the breath really moving all the way down. You might also feel your back widening. You might, when you have your period, get some cramps or even back pain. So, this area, from when we think of the womb, we think of it more in the front, but you can also access the womb space through your back body. And so just massaging your womb, your ovaries, consciously by sending the breath all the way down. And by pulsating your back body with the breath in, widening, and exhaling to soften. And a few more breaths here. Good. And then let's come back onto hands and knees. And quite often when we think of opening the hips, we actually think of external rotation the way we just sat now, cross-legged. But to widen the pelvic floor, to get some fluidity, some permeability there, we need the opposite. We need internal rotation. So let's bring the knees together, the toes apart, and you can inhale, shift the weight forward, and exhale to shift it back. It might feel really weird. That's fine. This is a position in which the sits bones are further apart, and therefore the pelvic floor is wider, so we get to stretch that area of our body, symbolizing a sense of receptivity. Okay, making sure you're breathing. Just get the upper body in flow. Let's keep the left hand down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, push it back. Inhale, left arm. Like you're swimming backwards, and exhale back. So one more round. Inhale. Exhale back. Last one. And back. And then into a half inversion, so knees hip width distance apart, and let's bring the hands forward to come into puppy pose. And walk the hands forward, and then allow the forehead to rest. And I'm going to come up just so you can listen to me. You can stay exactly in that position. So you can also be here, bum nice and high, and just relaxing your belly, allowing it to hang. And quite often there's a chronic tension in this area of the belly from just being in this world, having to protect ourselves. If you want to, move your hips. Babies do that a lot. They just, wiggle, waggle their butts. So it feels nice and freeing to the tailbone, to the sacrum. And this half inversion gets a sense that the organs are being pulled up, so there's less weight on the womb. There's a sense of freedom. Good, and then slowly come back onto hands and knees. If any of these positions feel really good, you can, of course, stay there longer. Otherwise, we'll slowly come back to seated. And we'll take a few variations of Bharadvajasana. So, my props aside, I'm just going to lean back, feet hip width distance apart, a little bit wider, and then you can start to bring one leg into external rotation, one into internal rotation, allowing the pelvis to twist and rotate slightly with the idea of bringing some balance into that area. You can inhale center, exhale to one side, and then the other. Good. Next time you're over towards the right side, you can stay there. And let's bring the heel in a little bit closer. In Yin Yoga, this is often called deer pose. If this is weird for you, you can always sit up on a blanket. That's going to help you with some of the imbalances in the hips. And I'm going to place my right hand behind me, and I'm going to start to turn towards the right side. So my left sit bone is going to come off of the floor. And as I exhale, both sit bones back towards the floor. I'm just starting to feel into the twist, the hips moving. Inhale, and exhale back. If you like, you can use your arms, so as you inhale, you can press the hand away from you to open the heart. And as I exhale, you can round the spine, bring the hand back forward. A little bit contemporary dance-ish. Contract and release. Inhale. And exhale. And just enjoying the connection between the hip, pelvis, spine, the arm, breath. And if any of this is too complicated, you can always bring your hand back and keep it more simple. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Good. From here, you can move into deer pose, half pigeon, folding over your shin, and maybe your hands are grounding, maybe your forearms, and maybe you're moving towards the floor. It doesn't really matter, just getting some blood flow and some opening into the right hip, the thigh. You might feel some different sensations as you move more towards the knee or more towards the foot. And again, checking in is the breath moving all the way into the pelvis. Good. And again, you can linger in any of these positions. For today, we're slowly going to come up. Lean back so we can windshield wiper the knees side to side again. And just releasing, noticing differences between the left and the right leg. And then you'll eventually come over towards the left side. Again, right heel this time closer towards my bum. Maybe you need a blanket, maybe you need to sit up a little bit higher so you don't feel too lopsided here. And then from there, left hand behind me, I'm gonna start to take an easy twist as I inhale, gazing behind my left shoulder. And as I exhale, I'm coming back. A few of these, inhale, and exhale. You get an option to use your arm. As I inhale, you can, like I'm pushing something away to open the heart. And as I exhale, you can ground your sits bone and round. Noticing the connection again. The thigh bone presses forward, the hip turns, the spine turns, maybe the head turns. And as I exhale, I like to start again from the hip. It's like a chain reaction, smoothly. Back and forth. And if the arm is just not the right thing for you, keeping the hand on the thigh. Last one. Good. And then you can fold over the left shin. Maybe the side feels different. It does to me. Excuse me. Coming as far down or staying as high up as feels appropriate. Checking in always, is there any tension in the jaw, the neck? Is the breath moving all the way down into your pelvic floor, belly soft? And then you can slowly come back up. Leaning back, windshield wiper one more time to release. And then we'll find a symmetrical posture here, Baddha Konasana. Maybe you need to sit up a little higher. You can also be, I'm going to demo against the wall. You can always lean against the wall in these positions if you feel like you're dropping back. And if you need blocks underneath the knees, they're there. It's okay to have some sensation in the inner thighs, but it doesn't have to be crazy. And we'll stay here for just a moment. You can bring one hand to really the lower belly, the area of your womb, so above the pubic bone, and then one hand onto the heart. Make yourself comfortable. If you need to sit up even higher, go ahead. And we're going to breathe up and down between the heart and the womb area, so that there's a connection there. As you inhale, you can pull the energy up towards the heart. And as you exhale, your attention going back towards the womb. Inhale up. And exhale back down. And as you continue, you're actually feeling your hands on your skin, whether your fingertips are warm or cold. Finding a softness and understanding. It's like the hand says, hey, I understand you. I understand your heart. I understand your womb. Maybe there's some fears arising. Fears not to conceive, maybe the fear to conceive. Whatever it is, holding space for yourself. Being the great mother to yourself. All loving, all encompassing, compassion, acceptance, bold love that embraces all aspects of you. even when you think they're not pretty, they're dirty, they're unlovable. The great mother loves all of them. Continue to still breathe up and down to create a connection. Now the brain, it doesn't have to be really present. It's okay. Brain is always present in our society. It's always thinking, trying to calculate. So it's okay, just being here in the lower two centers of intelligence. Very different kind of intelligence. Good. And this is something you can check in with over and over during the day. We don't go towards the floor. You can use your hands to bring the legs together, shake them out. And as a final position, we might need the blocks again. We're going to come into a similar position but on our backs. So slowly coming onto your back. You're going to place the bolster underneath my hips. So if this is too high, you can always use 2 blankets, or maybe at home you have a squishier cushion. Just checking in here with your hips. It's always nice to touch the parts of the body that you're trying to talk to. There's healing in that. And you have 2 options. You can either just extend the legs and find a position where the tailbone or the sacrum is really reaching away, so it's not crunching up. There's a length here through the front. Or you can, again, bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart, so that it's a mixture of Supta Baddha Konasana and a slight bridge pose. If this is too strong, you can always place blocks underneath the knees so you feel supported, or bolsters. We're not going to stay here forever. So we've involved the heart and the womb, but maybe for a moment bringing your hands onto your breasts. So also in Taoism, the breasts in the female anatomy, have a large role. And you might notice there's already an extreme tenderness that starts to arise as you just put your hands on your breasts. Being open, make sure the position is comfortable. It doesn't have to be extreme. You can go lower, you can use more props, extend your legs. Just breathing into your hands for a moment. So the breast can have a large influence on the female arousal and orgasm. And in the context of fertility can often be neglected. Again, the womb and the heart play together. And just maybe noticing what arises, what needs to be addressed, cleared out, tended to. Also noticing that this is a slight inversion. Inversions might make you feel a little bit more lightheaded. Here as the hips as the hardest point. It's this area that's now governing our direction. The heart is below and the head even lower. So
So just taking a moment to give into this reversed hierarchy that we're used to in day-to-day life. To just digest. Or you can stay here longer if it serves you. Or you can start to bring the feet together, pressing feet into the floor. And coming into a classic Shavasana for a moment. Arms alongside the body. You need to cover yourself with a blanket. Go ahead. And we'll finish with a simple visualization of your favorite flower right in the center of the room. And you're supplying that blossom with breath every time you breathe in through the nose. Your loving breath moves all the way into your womb. And the flower starts to blossom. I like to visualize the flower blossoming with the breath in. And with an exhale, there's just a being, a settling. And forward the next breath in, the blossoms further. And with an exhaling, there's a settling again, a being, a sense of enoughness, contentment. You can continue, the blossoms can, keep on blossoming from within. You can let this grow, maybe the flower or the blossoming encompasses your whole body. Maybe it stays in that area. Maybe it starts to include the whole belly, the heart, the throat, the head, opening and opening. Ready for pollination? And you can visualize the flower, color, scent, properties of the texture of the petals. I'm going to leave you here with this image as I close the space. I wish you a wonderful journey. I wish you all the best, all the strength, all the beauty. Thank you.